Hi everyone, this is Shukesh Bonik once again, and today I'm going to compare the two latest flagships of Samsung. It's the new Note 4 and on my left I have the 7 months old Galaxy S5. In this video I'm going to discuss about the important and also the subtle changes Samsung has brought in the both hardware and the software. As you know, Note 4 is the first flagship from Samsung that packs a metal frame and chamfered edges with shiny finish. This not only just gives the phone a better look but also improves the build quality. S5's plastic bezel with chrome finish doesn't look serious, and we really appreciate this new change Samsung has brought, which should be the stable design for Galaxy phones for a couple of years now. The back panel is another area Samsung has improved a lot. The new back cover looks and feels like leather thanks to the rubberized coating. The faux leather on the Galaxy S5 is shiny and doesn't give the impression of leather. So the exterior design is an area Samsung looked into very seriously. The frame around the display of the Galaxy S5 is wider than that of Note 4. That's why the display to body ratio of the Note 4 is slightly better. The corners of the Note 4 are also more boxy than the S5's, so this is another welcome change. Now the prime difference in between these two devices here is in the display, not only just in size but also in resolution. Note 4 is the first Galaxy sporting a Quad HD display with breathtaking 515 ppi. The dimension is same as its predecessor, that is 5.7 inches, and Galaxy S5, as you know, sports a 5.1 inches Full HD display with 432 ppi. The brightness of these two displays are almost same, I think, and the difference in the ppi is not noticeable unless you look from a very shorter distance at very small text, and you might notice the text on the Note 4 are slightly more smooth. Now the display of Note 4 is slightly more large for one-handed operation, but Samsung included some gestures introduced on the Galaxy S5, that is, you can shrink the whole display under your thumb. The extra apps column has been removed though. The 5.1 inches display on the S5 is perfectly usable with one hand. There is no need to shrink the display. The dialer, as you can see, is also optimized for one-handed operation, and this thing also works in the keyboard and in the calculator. So though Note 4 is a huge device, you might use it with one hand, and I'm telling you guys, after a few days of usage you will be used to it. Note 3 was my daily driver for a couple of months and I really didn't complain. There are a few more changes on the exterior. For example, Samsung removed the IR sensor for the air gesture feature. The front camera hole on the Note 4 is slightly bigger than that of S5's because the front camera is actually quite wide on the Note 4, which might help in Wi-Fi's, that is group selfies. The resolution has been improved from 2 megapixel to 3.7 megapixel, and surprisingly Note 4 can record in Quad HD. The rear camera on both of these devices is same 16 megapixel and both can record in 4K. The heart rate monitor on the Note 4 can now measure your blood oxygen level, your stress level, and even the UV light intensity in the sunlight of your area, so that's really cool. Now the loudspeaker on the Note 4 is also very loud, much louder than that of S5, because the S5 is basically a water resistant and dust resistant device. That's why the sound is kind of suppressed. Note 4's ear speaker is also louder and clearer. The USB 3.0 port is also covered under door, and Samsung decided to downgrade this to 2.0. You have got dual microphones on the Note 4 for better sound catching, and in the voice recorder there are some interesting modes. There is a meeting mode for catching sound from 8 sources, and you have got an interview mode which records the sound of interviewer and interviewee at the same level with the help of the secondary microphone at the top. Now the fingerprint scanners on both of these devices are, I think, more or less same, though Samsung claims it's to be more accurate. Now the versatile S Pen makes the difference in between these two devices. It's improved, and once you start using this there is no looking back. Because of the precise pressure sensitivity, you will enjoy writing with this S Pen even more than your pen and paper. It can not only just take notes, you can perform a lot of tasks, like you can call a person right away, you can save to contacts, you can search location, search on the web, and There are so many things this S Pen can do. I have to make a 1-hour video to show you all of those. You can check my reviews on this Note 4 and also the tips and tricks videos in the channel. The links are also in the description below. Now the look and feel of the TouchWiz user interface is, I think, 99% same. Only the settings menu on the Note 4 is slightly redesigned and the background is now white, which I didn't like. This eats up battery and during night it's painful to look at. The notification center has also got the same design, though there are few changes in the toggles and I'll talk about that later on. The background of the contact menu is also white on the Note 4. Now I have been using this S5 for last 7 months and the TouchWiz is quite smooth actually. Note 4 is a fresh new device, but still let's do a speed test. Camera opened faster on the Note 4. Same thing happened on the dialer. The messaging app also opened slightly faster on the Note 4. I really hope that Note 4 will maintain this swiftness for a couple of years now. Both of these devices have got My Magazine or Flipboard integration on the home screen, but you can remove it. Another similar feature is the multi-window, that is, you can split the display into two and share media from one to another. On the new Note 4, Samsung actually enhanced the experience of true multitasking with the introduction of something called pop-up window. You can of course drag and drop to split the display into two, but clicking on this will open up the application in a pop-up floating window. You can move this anywhere and also go to full screen, that is in the split view, and of course you can share media from one to another. The supported applications can be minimized just with a swipe from the corner, and the previously opened applications from the multitasking window can also be opened into these pop-up windows. Just press and hold and drop. Now clicking on the home button also converts this into floating icons. So looks like Samsung is perfectly utilizing the larger display on the Note 4. You can run 5 apps simultaneously on the Note 4. Now both of these devices feature Air View, but on the S5 you can do that with your finger. As you know, Air View gives a preview of the contents just by hovering your finger over the display. On the Note 4, S Pen will do that for you. There is no support for finger Air View. Now here on the browser, let me show you the real uses of this Air View feature. Now first of all, if you want to select any text on the browser of S5, you have to basically press and hold and drag. On the Note 4 you can do that just by pressing and holding the button on the S Pen and selecting the text. It's as easy as that. Another great utilization of the Air View feature is on the menu. You can get this drop down list just like the mouse pointer on your PC. S5's Air View with finger cannot actually do this. S Pen can also perform some amazing tricks. For example, here from this Air command wheel you can get this Smart Select, which basically snips a part of your display. You can also extract the text from it. Galaxy Note 4 borrowed both S Finder and Quick Connect from the Galaxy S5, and here on the toggles list you will find a new side key panel instead of the toolbox you got on the S5. Toolbox brings your frequently used applications anywhere on the screen, and the side key panel on the Note 4 is basically the navigation keys. The download booster is not present on the octa-core version of S5 I have with me, and Samsung removed a smart screen feature called Smart Pause, which pauses a video if you look away from the display and resumes if you look back. Almost all the other features are exactly same. Due to the lack of air gesture sensor, Note 4 cannot perform the air browse feature of this Galaxy S5. This thing also works in the music player, as you know. But with the help of the proximity sensor, you can basically wake up the display just by waving your hand on the top part of the phone. I've shown you these features on my tips and tricks reviews, so check that out. Let's quickly compare the cameras. The rear camera quality from both of these devices is almost the same, though the focusing is very fast on the Note 4, and due to the optical image stabilization on the Note 4, the low light images are basically less shaky. The front camera is much more improved on the Note 4, and following the present trend, there is also a rear camera selfie option. All the other modes are more or less same, and to know more about the image quality of the two cameras, here you can download the camera samples from my website gadgetsportal.in/camera-samples. Check the description below for the direct links. Now the battery performance of this new Note 4 is quite disappointing actually. I am getting around 1.5 to 2 days on this Galaxy S5, but Note 4 is not even giving me a full day backup. There is a fast charging option though, which charges the phone from single digit to 50% in around 30 minutes and 100% in just 1.5 hours. Now Note 4 packs a 3GB RAM and S5 has got a 2GB RAM, but the free RAM is quite low on both of these devices. The base model of S5 is of 16GB and you will get around 10 or 11GB out of the box. Note 4's base model is 32GB and the free space out of the box is 24.5GB. As I mentioned before, I have the octa-core version of S5. The Snapdragon version sports Crete 400 processor, whereas Note 4 has been upgraded to Crete 450. The GPU is also much more enhanced Adreno 420 instead of the Adreno 330 on the S5. The benchmark results show Note 4 to be 10 or 15% faster than the S5. Let me show you the Antutu score, and surprisingly on the S5, after an upgrade I am getting much better 42,947. I am used to get around 37,000 actually. As you can see, Note 4 scores significantly a better result. Next, on this benchmark OS2, Note 4 outperforms S5 in almost every way. Well guys, we are at the end of the video and here is my verdict. Note 4 features almost everything of this Galaxy S5 with added functionality of the S Pen and a huge display with great resolution. The look and feel of this device is much more premium than this S5. Once you hold this Note 4, S5 will feel like a plastic toy in hand. But still, Galaxy S5 is a great device to buy, especially because of its present price of only 37,000 rupees, that is 19,000 rupees or 35% less than that of this new Note 4. Apart from the price and the exterior, S5 packs around 80% of the features you got on the Note 4. The battery backup is also much better. So overall, I'll say both are great devices to buy. You can get any of these according to your need and you won't be disappointed with these innovative devices from Samsung. Stay tuned for more in-depth reviews on this Note 4, and if you think my videos are helpful, then it will be great if you subscribe and keep in touch. Check the description below for more interesting videos on this new device from Samsung. Thanks for watching buddies, see you next time.